Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out his girlfriend has been lying to him about her affairs with her coworker. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. Me, 21 male, and my girlfriend, 21, have been long distance for the majority of our relationship, 3.5 years. I had what I always thought was a healthy relationship where we could talk about anything. There was constant talk about marriage and our future. About 3 weeks ago, she told me that there's a coworker at her job that confessed that he has feelings for her, and that she may have feelings for him back. I asked her so many times if anything had happened that she could tell me, and she always denied it. At the time, I had no reason to suspect that she was lying, as we were always totally honest with each other. She had plans to go visit me soon for her birthday, and we agreed that she would just put whatever that was on hold until we figured things out in person. Mainly, whether we want to stay with each other or not. The week comes and she visits me, and we have a good time. We were totally happy. The chemistry was right. Everything seemed to be okay between us. We made future plans to visit for an upcoming wedding, and I was finally out of the haze. We decided to stay together on the condition that she tells this coworker that she decided to stay with me and cut contact. Well, just one day after she leaves and she sends the message, he blows up her phone with calls and texts asking if he could please speak with her. She rejects his calls and texts and threatens to contact HR if he doesn't leave her alone. She then goes and blocks him on both of our social media, and alarm bells instantly go off for whatever reason. I thought it was strange that she would feel the need to block him on my account, so without telling her, I unblock him. I get a message no less than 5 minutes later saying something like, "Just so you know, she cheated on you big time." I press her about this over the phone, and after so much resistance and blatant lies to my face, she admits it. They did everything. I felt floored. I lost my temper and went off on her with insults and yelling. I honestly never expected this. The next day, she texted me essays, mainly apologizing and begging me to forgive her, and eventually making cheap emotional appeals. "I watched you grow. I saw you at your worst and your best. I'm not going to throw away 3 years. I'll get better for you no matter how long it takes, etc." My suspicion is that she's in survival mode, and she's saying anything and everything to get me to talk to her. I know the logical side of me can't let that happen. I don't want to give her room to let herself off the hook. She's not remorseful about her cheating. She regrets that she was caught and now she's in panic mode. If it was up to her, I would still be in the dark indefinitely. I had no idea if she ever planned on telling me, and I think that's the hardest part. I broke it off officially and deleted her on social media. Yesterday, I went and got tested for STDs. It's just so hard not talking to someone every day, and I feel completely hopeless. You just genuinely don't know what someone could be capable of, and that's terrifying. I'm afraid of having trust issues now. I could use any advice or encouragement you folks might have for staying strong amid such a disgusting situation. Sorry for the long post. I just had to let it out. You did the right thing breaking things off with her, OP. I applaud you for being brave enough to end it. There was no way you could continue a healthy relationship with her. She didn't only cheat on you, she lied about it. And now she's trying to get you to forgive her because, well, she's watched you grow up. That's a joke. If she really did love you, she would have opened up to you about her feelings and not given in to them. She threw away the 3 years relationship when she gave in to her selfish desires. Losing you is one of the consequences of her actions. She should deal with it. OP, time will heal your heart. But until then, please keep yourself busy with family and hobbies. Take care. Now for some comments. You did what's best for you, and you should be proud of that. You're 100% right. She's only sorry that she got caught. Cheating is reprehensible and should never be tolerated. Keep her blocked on everything. Phone number, social media, email, etc. You're still incredibly young. Don't be discouraged over this. I don't have much advice, but just know it's nothing you did or could have done. A partner who's going to stray will stray regardless. You'll find the right one. She just wasn't it. Wow, I'm really sorry. I think you made the right move. Something similar happened to me. My ex cheated with his coworker and I found out. But when I confronted him, he lied through his teeth. He was gonna move in 2 weeks later and was promising me a future. I knew deep down he was lying, so I gave him a couple of days to confess, which he didn't. I confronted him again and he finally admitted. I stupidly stayed around and let him walk all over me, lie, and abuse me while he juggled me and the other girl. Thank God it ended. I wish I had the strength to end it before it got as bad as it did. She decided to cheat, then she decided to lie. Then she decided to keep it from you until she got caught. What she did shows how little she respects you. There's no excuse. What you're feeling is natural. What you did, though, is so right. Unfortunately, our feelings and wants don't always match up with what's best for us. That's why God gave us a brain, too. Although she says, "I'm not going to throw away 3 years," the truth of the matter is that she already did. That's what giving in to temptation did for her. The proper way to have done it, but still would have hurt you, was to break up with you if she had to have this other guy so much. And don't you dare measure yourself to him. He's already leagues beneath you because he got it on with a taken woman. Or if she cared about you as much as she claims, she would have told this other dude no. Instead, she tried to have her cake and eat it too. So selfish. Thankfully, you listened to reason despite the hurt and cut her out of your life. The longer you spend away from her, the clearer your head will become. You didn't ruin this future together, by the way. She did it 100%. You're just holding her responsible and refusing to be her chump. Story 2. My wife, 28, and I, 27, have been together since high school. Decade anniversary a few months back, married for about 5 years. We have been each other's rocks, helped shape and keep each other sane through family, school, and professional hell, and are about as close to perfect for each other as I can imagine. I'm not one that feels there's one perfect person for you. I understand there are always others with similar interests, backgrounds, etc. But I really do feel we're great together intellectually, emotionally, sexually, etc. But all that time and dependence, I think, had definite codependency creation issues and independent self-image consequences, which is probably what led in part to this last October. We've been long distance since June due to her having to do a year internship a couple of hours away. 5 interns, 2 females and 3 males. They all get along great, and I was happy she had support when I couldn't be there for her. The internship is very stressful, as most are, so I knew she would need to vent to them. And I had no issues with her spending time with any of them in group or individually. She's especially close with the girl, but the girl's a bit conservative for her personal tastes. But she got along great with 2 of the guys, and you might see where this is headed. In October, I noticed a few texts on her phone that seemed a bit inappropriate with one of the guys. But I know they're close, so I probably was just reading into it. A few days later, though, I noticed she had deleted all of them. Alarm klaxons and red flags. So I confronted her. And she admitted things happened when they were alone. I drove to meet her, she confessed over clothes stuff and kissing. We hashed it out, and I told her that she had to be absolutely honest with me. We discussed potentially changing to an open relationship, but I would only consider it further after counseling, the other guy's wife knowing about it, and my side being open if I wanted as well. Well, he won't tell his wife, as he's pretty sure she would leave him and take their kids, so that's not happening. But something still felt off on the way home. So being a paranoid person, I got home and convinced her I knew she lied, and that she hadn't told the whole truth. Yes, I know, manipulative, but I could tell she was still guilty about something. She's not a great poker player. Turns out it was actually about 20 minutes of oral between them as well. She was ashamed and thought that withholding that would somehow be better. I believe she felt that, but I almost ended right then and there. She lied again. And I correctly guessed that yes, he suggested they potentially continue behind my back. They decided to cut their ties and restrict their activities to work-related things. And I got a therapist that I see weekly. I didn't really think that they could restrict that much as they all hang out together, but at least they wouldn't be alone in an apartment anymore. I decided not to tell his wife, as I don't want the kids to have to go through that. But otherwise, she would have been the first person I called. But if anything happens again, he doesn't deserve to get off scot-free. For all I know, this is and will be an ongoing issue. And she at least needs to have the ability to have someone that deserves her. But I really don't want to go down that road, no matter how much I hate the piece of shit or the fact that he gets to run around without consequences. She gravitated to hanging out with the other guy more, which of course set me off too. He's not attractive and definitely not her type, but the emotional connection is there still, at least in my mind. They would watch movies, go out to eat, bish about work, etc. Imagine a college roommate, sorta like that. So after several blow-ups, she no longer hangs out with him alone either. She was extremely resentful because she viewed it as taking away her support system. Her view has gotten better on this, but it's still shaky, and I think that's where the codependency issues come into play. We've always had each other, but now we have to either grow up or cling to others. I chose the former, she chose the latter thus far. Fast forward 2-ish months and it's still such a minefield. We've massaged our work schedule so we're together most Thursday nights through Sunday nights. We text frequently, we do our best to express our emotions, be honest, and visibly show how much we love each other. Sex is great, and we make the most of our time together to be close and intimate. I'm working on getting us into couples therapy, which she's all for. But the holidays and long distance made appointments impossible. I've tried to keep my hands out of her daily life. I've got issues with wanting to control to feel secure, but every day is a struggle. Had one minor suicidal episode, but luckily got it under control and worked on it with my therapist. I try to use my time being active, getting back into shape, improving myself and my surroundings, etc. But damn is every day a potential for blinding rage and sorrow. Like, she went to lunch with the cheater the other day. Just pick up a sandwich, come back to the office and eat it. I thought she'd gone with the other guy. Eventually I realized it was with the cheater and was thrown right back into that pit of feeling lied to. She said she didn't tell me because she had no idea that it would upset me. We talked about it for 3 hours that night, with each side doing their best not to yell, blame, etc. But it's almost impossible when your mind is so messed up. I eventually gave her several hypotheticals where I had no intention of cheating, but was chatting with other girls, hanging out in their apartment alone, etc. And she admitted it would make her feel insecure. And I responded, so why do you do those things after you did cheat? And it felt like she got it, maybe for the first time. Put yourself in my shoes, feel the chaos and pain, live it in, and imagine me doing it to you. Would you want me to do X? No? Then why would you do that to me? Jesus, how would you expect me to react? How do you expect to do that for the remainder of the internship and not drive me to leave you because I don't feel like you care or are willing to try? And it's on those days, those mad insecure days, that all the automatic thoughts fire. Don't you realize what you did? You effed up our relationship. You obliterated every ounce of trust I had. I know you feel guilty, but I want you to feel how lost, confused, and angry I become. Do I have to cheat on you, destroying who you are and everything you hold dear to make you get it? It's not just lunch because I don't trust that you didn't say anything inappropriate, touch, etc. It's always the worst case scenario in my head. I would walk through a burning building for you. But you don't even care to think about me instead of you. Can't you see I can't do this for another half year? Can't you see the only thing I want from you is you? Reassure me. Don't put yourself in situations that you wouldn't want me in. Love me and work with me. That's a lot, I know, but isn't our relationship worth it? We both genuinely love and care for each other, I know that. But it's so hard to continue to hold on to the relationship when a decade of trust is gone in an instant. that everything she does is a potential mine to blow up in my face. And I know that she would do anything I told her to do, albeit probably with some resentment, but she would. So it's just hard. It's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 1 step forward and 3 steps back. She seems to get it, but then she does something that seems so objectively stupid and potentially hurtful that I question my own sanity. And then we talk, try our best to hear each other, make sure we know that we do still want to be with each other and stay married, and reassure each other as best we can while moving forward. I would truly love to hear from others that have been here, especially the long-distance part. How did you and your SO work through this seemingly endless minefield? What hard boundaries did you set, especially when there's the whole coworker-friend aspect? Thanks for letting me vent anonymously to others. It means a lot to know that there are others like me that know what hell it is to go through this. You don't trust her, OP, and to be honest, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't trust her either. Especially when she's still with the man she did all this with because she has to complete her internship. That makes things pretty hard for you because every time you'll wonder if they've done something else or not. It doesn't seem like you want to break things off with her. Marriage counseling would be my advice. She needs to understand that her resentment for you anytime you demand something to help you feel reassured in your marriage needs to go. She cheated. She needs to realize that she has to do a lot of work to gain your trust again. My other advice would be, if you can't take any of this anymore, please don't hesitate to leave.